Here we have one of the most iconic vehicles of all time, the legendary Ford GT40. They were developed in 1963 and they were produced from 64 to 69 with only 105 vehicles ever made, so they're quite a rare vehicle. This one here is in Australia and they're even more rare in Australia. There's rumored to really only be a couple over here. Today they're said to be worth 5.5 million upwards, depending on the quality of the vehicle. They came out with the iconic 289 cubic inch, 390 horsepower V8. And this one here, when it started up, it just sounded glorious. It's sex on wheels, this beast. As the story goes, Ford tried to buy Ferrari when it was in some financial difficulties, and Ferrari were going to sell to Ford, and at the last moment they backed out because Ford would have had the reins on the racing team of Ferrari. And Enzo, with his overly inflated ego, he's a bit of a tosser, old Enzo, he pulled out at the last moment because he wanted to have full control of the race team. So Mr. Ford turned around and went, well, screw you, Mr. Enzo. I'm going to make a car to absolutely kick your ass at Le Mans. And this is what came out of that, the GT40. And it did kick Ferrari's ass at Le Mans 4 years in a row, winning the race in 1966 right through every year till 1969. Take that, Enzo. How you like me now? Now, the 40 in the name of this car stands for 40 inches because the vehicle was 40 inches high. And as you can see me standing next to the vehicle here, it really only comes up just above my waist. It is absolutely stunning and amazing how low these vehicles are. This is the first one I'd ever seen, and I couldn't believe how low it was. These vehicles have glorious lines on them. There's so many air intakes and air outtakes, like all those holes there on the back. It's all designed to expel heat from the engine. All these vehicles were made super lightweight. You can see the plexiglass side window there. They were designed to shave off as much weight as possible. Obviously, for racing, you've got the plexiglass side windows, the plexiglass light covers on the front, the rear windscreen plexiglass, fiberglass bodies. They're all designed lightweight. The less weight you got, the faster you're going to go, and hence why they won the Le Mans 4 years in a row. Even the interior of these vehicles, very sparse, hardly any padding on the seat whatsoever. The door cards pretty well non-existent. Very plain interior for a $5.5+ million car. But they weren't designed to look pretty on the inside. They were designed to look pretty on the outside, and they certainly did. There's that glorious V8 inside the plexiglass window there, and you can see the holes here that it's got to expel all the heat that would build up from this race engine. The exhaust is down through there, and there's a bit more holes at the back which also expel more heat out. Little scoop spoiler there. What more can you say about these cars? They're just absolutely glorious. The American-made giant killer, designed to beat Ferrari, to dominate Ferrari, and to make a fool of Ferrari. And Mr. Ford, you did. You absolutely embarrassed Enzo with this beast. What a car. Absolutely glorious. I just love it. And just to add on at the end here, if you haven't seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari, you should. It's a great movie, and it just tells you a lot about the history of these cars, the racing of these cars, and what they did at Le Mans. Very good watch. I highly recommend watching the movie.